While most traders are terrified of SMCI, we're actually extremely bullish on it, and we believe that it's getting ready to go to the moon here. In this video, I'm going to break down to you the setup, the analysis, the key levels to watch, the price targets, and so you can make money off of this with us as well too. First thing is first, when it comes to looking for a long leap option trade, which is what we're doing right now, and we're about to jump into shares as well too, is does the company have growth? This is the foundation of any stock. Anytime a stock goes into earnings, it's always about forward guidance. Is there growth in the company or not? And you can figure that out here if you go to the Nasdaq website and go to the earnings page for SMCI. If we go to the earnings per share EPS, you can see here that they have growth all the way until Q2 of next year. So honestly, this stock is undervalued at the moment. Okay. So what we want to try and capture inside the private Telegram group is that we want to try and capture the next expansion to the upside. Now, will it hit $110 by Q2 of next year? We have no idea, but we are going to use Gextron to help us figure that out. What's the most likelihood? The price target that can maximize our gains by a specific time frame, by a specific expiration date, so we can make the most money out of it without having to rely too much on our feelings and what we think it should be. We're just going to play what the data is telling us, and that's how we trade all of our options here, and also shares as well too. So if you want to trade shares, this is perfectly good. If you want to trade options, this is another way to do it. We're doing both. Now, so going back to the analysis here, it is growth quarter over quarter. So when it comes to earnings, there's always these few reports. This applies to both EPS and revenue growth? Okay. The question is, does the EPS beat month over month? Does it beat year over year, which it should, right? This is 0.36. They reported last quarter 0.31, and then a year ago they reported 0.67. Okay, so yes, it meets those requirements as of right now, right? And the next question is, does it have forward guidance? Is the forward guidance changing? Is it increasing? Is it staying the same? What you want to the most bullish scenario, the worst bullish scenario that you want is for the forecast to be the same. Okay, you don't want this to stall out. You don't want to see flat EPS. You don't want to see declining EPS, because that will hurt the stock, in any stock. And that's the stuff that we just don't know until earnings come out. But as of right now, this is based off what they have given us since the last quarter. So this is what the data that we have to follow with. So this is the first foundation of this stock, SMCI. So first, figure out, does it have growth, which clearly it does. The next thing that I need to figure out here is, what are the key levels? And so we use Gextron here. And the beautiful part about Gextron is that it's dynamic. It's always forward looking. It's never backward looking. So it's always looking at the right side of a chart, if you want to visually pretend that's how it works, because it uses the option premiums. It uses all the transactions that are coming in to forecast what market participants believe the price should be for this given security. And so in this case, we have price targets, we have daily levels here, and right now 47 is the biggest level of support as of right now. And it also marks what we call inside the private Telegram group P-trans level. P-trans is just it's the first level in price that marks a bullish transition from bearish to bullish. So after all of this bearishness that happened, now it's getting above 47 here, which is currently 47.79, and we're sitting above it, nice and strong. Nice strong candlestick here on the price action. So this is a good sign for us as of right now, which is a reason why we entered. Okay, another reason is to also, just like I said, on the monthly time frame, bullish market structure, right? It didn't close below this low, which is really good. Let's see if it can hold and start making a new expansion. Now, going back to the daily time frame, we are sitting above P-trans, which is also the tallest positive bar as of right now, which makes it max reward, because that's why you see MR there. But the thesis is very simple. As long as this level can hold, we will stay in the trade. If it loses this level, then we will get out and we'll just find another setup or another entry at another time. Really simple. I don't get all caught up that it has to be this and it has to be that. It doesn't have to be that. So this is the level, this is the entry, this is the stopping point. So that's that. Now, there are some other key levels here that are really important, and Gextron makes it extremely simple to look at because it's any tall bars. And we call those areas of interest because these levels, like 49, 50, 51, 46, and even to the downside, 43, these are areas of interest, and they can be support and resistance depending on where price is heading towards. So if it's going towards 49, it could be a level of resistance. If it's falling down to 46, that could be a level of support. And the beautiful part about Gextron is that it shows you not all levels, not all key levels are made the same. Each one has a different level of strength, and that's the height of the bar that you see here, which is really, really nice of Gextron because I know I know 48 is a weak level. I know 47.5 is weak. I know 48.5 is weak. When it starts to get somewhat a little bit more difficult is at 49. It's at 50. It's at 51 because these are the largest levels, right? And even these have their own strengths. Now, these levels are all marked on my chart here, which I can visually see it when I go to SMCI. It says 49, 50, 51. Awesome. The next thing that I need to know are price targets, okay? Because this is going to come into play on how I select my strikes, how I select my expiration dates. And what I want to aim for at the end of this trade is the end of the year target. The end of the year target, you could do the last week of December here. When you go to Gextron, you'll see a bunch of months, a list of months, and under these months, you're going to see a group of expirations for that security. What's available for that given month? Okay, and for every single expiration, Gextron is giving you price targets so you know what's possible and what that growth can look like, or like a map. Think of it like a map, how it maps to a certain price target, right? And so if I go to the end of the year, which you could do the last week of December or the first week of January, which is what I like to do normally, it's 61.43. That is the all-time high for the end of the year target. Doesn't mean it can't change. And again, because Gextron is updating on the live every minute of the hour, it is always recalculating these price targets in these daily levels, these key levels. So as of right now, 61.43 is my target. So I believe we got $70 contracts, which is a little bit further out of the money, but it's into September. So when price target finally hits here, we'll be selling a lot of the option premium already. We'll take a majority of our position off the table and let some runners run just in case it does want to make that next expansion to 66, maybe 72, and so on. Okay, but at least this way we have a realistic price target by a specific day. What is possible? Another price target that I have here is the quarterly price target because, like I said, every security moves in cycles on a 3-quarter basis. So the day of earnings, that quarter ends. The next quarter starts after earnings have been released until the next earnings date. So in this case, November 7th is the week of SMCI's earnings date. So it's got a total price target top of 46.69 right here, which I believe I have here 57.42. It has decreased a little bit since I first marked this level, but this is another good area if I want to take some profits for the quarter, and then I have the end of the year target, right? So then now I have price targets that I can hit and then start taking money off the table. That way I can capture some of those gains. Okay, but that is the move for SMCI. In my opinion, just based off of looking at the EPS growth, this is the foundation. This is the fundamental here. As long as there's growth, this stock will go higher and higher. It won't do it all in one shot or within the next year or this year. It can take time, and it will, it will go up, it will pull down and go up. But that's why we have Gextron to help us figure out where are the biggest levels of support, when can we enter, when can we exit, when do we have to wait for the next entry, and so on to help us guide us to get to that point of higher highs, right? And so that's it. That's SMCI. If you have any questions on this, drop a comment down below. If you have any questions on wanting to use Gextron, join the school community. It's free. Let me know inside the school community that you want an invite, and I'll create an invite code for you. And I will see you on the next one.